So today is October 31st, and everyone's favorite celebration for some reason. I'm assuming it's because people get to dress up as something that they wish they actually were. I have no costume. I'm not spending money on a costume. So the best I could make up or do was use this low hat and then put on the shirt that goes with it. And that was my costume all day. So, positive things for today. Both my football teams won. I watch a high school football team whenever I can watch it on the YouTube. And then Penn won today by 7-8-7. If you're ever gonna bet, on Ivy League sports, it's always over. Always bet the over. Only because Ivy League sports or Ivy League teams, the entire Ivy League team apparatus conference, they do hurry up offense. So it's very much like so the game started at 7:30 today. I got there at like 8 o'clock, and by the time I got there, it was already 21-7, and the second quarter was like 10 minutes. We were like 5 minutes into the second quarter. So I don't know what's up with that, but that's how fast time goes when you're not paying attention. Yeah, I have nothing else to say, so I'm trying to fill time. Oh, interesting. Oh, you know what? I might use this. I found this. So I'm gonna use it. You're probably like, why would you use something that you just found? I don't have a good answer for you. Oh, you know what? I do have one last thing I can say. So I was let go from my job on Monday, and at first I was like, I must have done something, and I kept thinking, couldn't figure it out, and then I did the one thing that I'm sure a number of people in the world hate, and I asked artificial intelligence. Now, when I asked it, it wasn't like, why did I get fired? And it gave me an answer. I had to plug in information that I already knew, and I had to find out information that I didn't know. And what came out was essentially they had a program set up at my site. I was trained for that program. I was going to do that program. By the time I was done training, they'd realized that they didn't have something that they needed for my site, so they couldn't allow me to actually continue working, because you can't have someone work under a grant. I'm assuming it was a grant, because that's how nonprofits work. You can't have someone work under a grant and them not be doing the job that the grant was for. Because realistically, I was supposed to be at that site all day, but that was not happening. I was instead in the office half the day and then at the site towards the end of the day. Oh, what was the last thing? I forgot what the last thing was. Oh, no, I really did forget what the last thing was. But yeah, essentially that's what it was. Oh, the last thing was, why did they wait till Monday when they probably figured out that they weren't having anything for the past week? Apparently last Friday the corporate people came from New York or whatever. I don't know how it works, but I guess people from New York show up sometimes, and so I'm going to take a guess as to they had a conversation and they were like, we can't do this unless this is happening. They realized we can't have this because we don't have this, and they were like, well, you gotta let them go. And so that's what happened. So now it's off to find another job, and that's it. All right. Goodbye.